I lost my passion for weightlifting, and I've been doing weightlifting for over a decade, and things just don't feel the same anymore. And I'm gonna try and give you guys some context on this because it's much deeper than just feelings, right? It's much deeper than just how you feel during a month or two training. And I've been doing this sport for quite a while now, and I've gone through so many phases. When I started, I did not have any talent. Little girls that were 2 years younger than me were beating me, right? At 12, 13 years old, after 2 years in the sport, I was still sucking, finishing third in competitions where there were only four people in my category, right? With people that were like younger than me and lighter than me. And then at the age of 14 years old, like I just started grinding my ass off because I had nothing else to do. I didn't like school, I didn't have many friends, whatever. And so I just like put all of my anger and all of my pain into weightlifting. And I went from, snatching like 95 kilos to snatching over 130 kilos at the age of 16 years old, right? In the span of 2 years and a half. And then I had a big injury, and I thought about quitting this sport like every single day for a whole year, because I really thought that I had broken my wrist, but it was something with the growth plaque where my bones, instead of being like this, they were like this, right? And every single day I just thought about quitting. And when I restarted training, I wasn't the same anymore. I just wasn't moving the same way. I wasn't feeling the same way. I wasn't feeling stronger. Yes, my squats had gone up because that's all I was doing. I was just squatting, but I just could not do it anymore, right? Like snatching 100 kilos now felt extremely heavy, right? When it used to be a weight that I would like power snatch for multiple reps. And I eventually came back from it, changed my training system 3-2. You guys have heard the story. And then I became national champion. But last year, I had the biggest obstacle of my whole entire life. In May 2025, I had 2 surgeries on my knees because I had very small calcifications that were causing endless inflammation on my knees, and I wasn't able to train. And for a good 8 months, I really thought I was done for weightlifting. I really thought I was done with weightlifting. I was doing my recovery stuff, my rehab, simply because I'm not someone that quits, right? I've been like that in business a lot of times, where I'm just done with it, but I just keep going because there's something deeper that pushes me, which is to like inspire others and just give the example to my little sister, to my family members, all of those things, and to the people around me. And so what kind of example is quitting? What kind of example is, just giving up when it gets hard? What kind of example is that for my kids and for my family? But dude, as a man, like, even though you have all of those strong whys, like, you still fucking feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still feel like shit when things aren't going your way. You still feel like shit when, you just don't know what to do anymore. Because there's a sense of just, like, losing hope. And that's how I felt for a whole entire 8 months, man. I thought I was really done with weightlifting. And for me, weightlifting is something that was the biggest part of me, because I became Pan American champion, youth world medalist, all of those things. And one day, I was just like, after coming back from the doctor, he told me that I still had endless inflammation even after the 2 surgeries. And I just went outside, man, and I'm gonna put you guys a small part of the video so you guys can understand. And I was just like, God, like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm done with weightlifting. Like, your will be done. Whatever happens, happens. Next day, my knees were even worse. The day after, my knees were even worse. But the week after, I decided to just fast and pray for 3 or 4 days. And that's when everything changed for me. I got back into training. Now, the pain was still crazy. The suffering was still crazy. But I was able to lift the goddamn barbell again, man. And I was missing 120 kilo cleans. I wasn't able to stand up because of the pain and because of the lack of strength. Like, imagine not like moving your legs that much for 8 months. Like, do you think you're gonna be able to stand up with your 50% right now? Absolutely not. Plus, you add into that, like knee pain and just pain everywhere because you haven't trained in 8 months. And it was fucked up. But in the span of 3 weeks, I was able to go from absolute scratch to snatching 150 kilos and, winning gold, all of those things, beating guys that were training for the whole year. And I just beat them training 3 weeks. And the reason for that is because it was the will of God. Now, let me explain. It's not some woo-woo bullshit. It's really not some woo-woo bullshit, okay? It's God didn't want me to come back to lifting because I was putting my lifting goals on a pedestal. God was keeping me broke because I was putting my business goals on a pedestal. God removed the woman that I was with for over 2 years from my life because I was putting our relationship and me just, being a leader for her on a pedestal. I wasn't putting her on a pedestal, but I was just putting the whole thing on a pedestal, right? I let that define me. The weightlifting, the business, the beautiful woman, right? I let that define me. Like, I'm that guy, but you're not that guy, because you cannot even control your heartbeat. You cannot even control, if a fucking car is gonna run you over tomorrow when you wake up and you go outside in the streets. Or you cannot control anything. You cannot control the weather, you cannot control anything, right? So I was putting all of those goals for myself, and I was just focusing on them and just putting those goals on a pedestal, and God was like, that's funny, dude. That's funny. You make a plan and God laughs. Like, every single time. That's one of my favorite quotes. You make a plan and God laughs. Because He understands everything. He created you. He created this camera. He created absolute me, like this cigar, everything, right? Like, everything. He created everything. And so He understands things that I don't understand, and He understands things that you don't understand, and He understands everything. And so we don't understand nothing because, as I said, you cannot control much in this life. Not even your thoughts. Your freaking mind, dude. Sometimes you cannot even control it. Your own state of mind, your own emotions, sometimes you cannot even control that, right? Now, there's people that are able to control it, but for most of us, no. Everything did not change until it got to the point where I was like, dude, like, I'm not able to do this by myself. I don't know how to do this anymore, God. Like, I don't know if I should give up on lifting. I'm willing to give up on lifting. I'm willing to give up on business. I'm willing to give up on absolutely everything because I don't know how to do this. Like, there's a lot of humility and a lot of courage in saying, yo, I don't know what the heck is going on. And I don't know what happened. And I don't know where it got this bad. Like, when did this shit get so bad, right? And God let me get to that point so He could actually use me and remove my ego, remove my goals, remove my own self from my life and just work through me. Does that make sense? For someone that is a not believer, it's a little bit hard to understand, but that's what giving your life to Christ means, basically. Is that He will, if He needs to, and most of the time He needs to, because we are men and we have a lot of ego and we, want to figure out things out ourselves. So most of the time He will just remove everything from your life to show you that, yo, like, it's not your way, dude. You know what I'm saying? You're a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? You've been here for 30, 40 years. You don't know shit. I've been here since the beginning, And once I understood that, that's when everything changed for me. With lifting wise, mentally, spiritually, like absolutely everything. He gave me like a woman that, is truly a godly woman for the first time in my life, because I've been personally, and I'm not proud of that, with multiple women, but they weren't actual women of God, because I wasn't a man of God myself. And yes, they were beautiful, yes, they were pretty, yes, they were respectful, but they weren't women of God, right? And it was not until God removed everything from me that I was able to truly lead that woman correctly. And same exact thing with my lifting, same exact thing with my business, right? Even with my business, I took a path that I didn't had to take, and I still took it. because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Because I got to the stage of my life where I was like, dude, like nothing is working my own way. None of my goals, like I'm not hitting any of my goals. It's been like a year, right? And so God will remove, God disciplines those who He loves. And what's the best way of disciplining someone? Like if you want to discipline a child, how are you gonna do it? Suffering, doing hard shit. And so He's gonna make you go through some hard stuff in order for you to actually give everything to Him, and for you to figure out that without Him, you're not much. In fact, you're not anything, because you cannot even control your heartbeat. So give it all to God. If you're struggling right now, and even if you're not struggling, do not wait to struggle in order to give it all to God. You know, even though you're going to wait, because we're all humans, right? And so it's extremely important, guys. Give it all to God, and that's when everything will actually change for you.